Are we good? Says we're live.
Hey, this was a good practice. We'll get right back to it.
I don't know what just happened.
We'll make a joke out of this. Like, we've been goofing around for the last 6.
We'll make it a bit.
Mm-hmm. There we are. I think we're live now.
Oh.
Let's see. On the show didn't even start. John effing Lord. It started now. Okay, let's start this over.
Let's go.
There we go. Hey, it's just like a Lions game. It starts at 1:05.
Yeah, right?
We start at 8:05. We're just trying to give you the due diligence that your own Detroit Lions give you. So we apologize.
No, welcome. We've been shooting the shit. We've been chatting here for the last 6 minutes, thinking we were talking to you, but let's do these intros over one more time. As you can see, there's no Terry Foster today. The dude's got the weekend off.
Deserving.
Spending some family time. That's the legend Terry Foster. In his seat, joining me today is Justin Satawa. We got a little Wake Up Woodward reunion.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
and we
indeed.
gotta talk Lions, bitch.
TLB.
Did he just drop a TLB on me?
He just
Yeah.
talked to TLB. Hey, one of the best.
Hot
what
mics.
Was it? We was a hot mics.
Yes,
one of the best
greatest
hot
hot
mics of all
mic.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to live in the halls for
From the rising legend.
forever. Those were the good old days. But everyone who's watching now, there we are, everyone in the chat. This is First to the Whistle, and I'm making up a punchline because we're first to the punch, and we play through the whistle, and your middle name is Abraham today. We're going
All right.
with that. Terry Foster always gives me a new nickname. But everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this Lions game day. The Detroit Lions come back to Ford Field 2-1 after beating the Ravens 38-30. They put up over 90 points in the last 2 games.
Talk to me.
Made some statements, crushed some narratives. We're excited to talk Lions. We'll do a little post-mortem on that Ravens game. And we're going to get into the Browns game because the Browns come to town. Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns, who had a surprising victory against the Jordan Love-led Green Bay Packers last week. But
You know who's leading the charge in the chat is Donovan Wine.
What'd he
It is
say?
5 a.m. in Vancouver, Canada, and I'm ready to go. Let's go, Lions.
Let's
Well,
go.
Thank you for
That
tuning
gets
in
me
for
fired
Vancouver.
Let's go, Lions.
Yeah,
Guess
shout
what?
out Arf. Shout out John effing Lord. Shane Clement, Robert Lane, my Harry Mack guy. Dennis Tate, Attila the Hunt, Xavier D, Nitty Gritty. I'm going through them all. We Donovan, the Praying Mall Man, Donkey Kong, Joshua, Donkey Kong again. We're here. We made it. I love Monday Night Football games, but there's something about doing a Sunday show and not having a game on Sunday afternoon, Justin. I like that they're playing at 1 p.m. But I haven't been able to talk about this Ravens game.
I can't lie. I'm not used to, going with the poors at the table. All these Browns and at the 1 o'clock games. The Lions are a little more high class than that in terms of the NFL landscape. Okay, I mean we're used to these prime time games. We're a prime time team. Okay, we're not with all these low lifes at the 1 o'clock slate like the Packers, the Vikings, and the Browns. Like that's not what we are. Like we are a prime time team, and we got to do a little charity. The Lions got to do a little charity work, and they got to be at 1 o'clock with the Browns. You can't be on prime time every week if you're the Lions, even though they should be because we're the best team in football.
He's getting a little bougie over here.
Real bougie over here.
He's calling shot. He's calling the Brown. He's talking the Lions up. You must be confident after seeing them.
Oh, I am confident.
Overpower the
I've always
Baltimore
been
Ravens.
confident.
Did you expect, Justin? If I told you this, if I told you Lions play the Ravens, that's Jared Goff versus Lamar Jackson. If I told you one QB was sacked 7 times and the other none, would you think it was crazy? If
I would not think it was the Lions, especially when the Ravens had one of the top 5 pass rushes through the first couple weeks of the season. I mean,
Lamar Jackson doesn't get sacked
No,
like
he does
that.
not.
The Baltimore Ravens and their offensive line, they don't allow pressure to the quarterback like that historically. It's a John Harbaugh team. And the Lions went into their house, and they showed them really what we thought the Lions could be. I'm not going to say the Lions are in midseason form yet, but they sure looked like it against Baltimore. Those questions of the interior of the offensive line, to me, which was the biggest question mark, they answered those plus some.
yes, and it was the slight reminder, and I'm going to keep going with my bit.
Go.
The Lions are a garage filled with the most luxurious, exotic sports cars on the planet. You have a Lamborghini in Jahmyr Gibbs. You have an old I think that David Montgomery's a muscle car, an old Detroit muscle car, the way that he runs the football. You got Jared Goff. Jared Goff's the nice Escalade. I could keep going, but we have the most luxurious collection of weapons in the entire league. There is no one that has a better receiver core, that has a better running back core, and what's soon to be a better offensive line, as the offensive line continues to take steps towards that elite quality that we know them to be at. And that's where it is so nice to be a Lions fan, because you go out there on Monday Night Football, everyone's picking against you, everyone's doubting you, and you remind them why you are a Super Bowl favorite, why you are one of the best teams in the NFL, why the Packers are now shaking in their boots, and they won't admit it.
No, they won't.
They won't admit it, but they are scared to come into Detroit on Thanksgiving when we play them in this rematch. They know that it's going to slip right away because Jordan Love's a bum. And Cleveland showed you that last week.
Yeah. I'm low on Jordan Love, but you talking about all these luxurious cars, and I don't know, you remember MTV Cribs, or whenever anyone's showing off their house, their rides, they have the luxurious cars, the sports cars, the muscle cars, but they also usually have maybe a tricked out truck, some power up front, and that's what that offensive line, led by Hank Fraley, led by Penei Sewell, that's what they did against a Ravens defense that, despite losing, not having Van Noy and Matabuke,
Hank Fraley's son actually goes to Western Michigan. Shout out to him.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Go Broncos. They play Michigan hockey later?
No.
Or they played yesterday.
I played them.
Oh, you played them and you beat them.
Yes.
All right, go Blue. Nonetheless, that offensive line was probably the talking point after the Packers game, week 1. But what Tate Ratledge showed in 2 short weeks, again, we got the Bears game mixed in there, and what Christian Mahogany showed with Graham Glasgow in the middle, those 2 young guys, I'm getting really excited thinking about how quickly they're starting to develop. Christian Mahogany, remember, he's only played like 6 games. He's a second-year player, but only got a couple starts last year. Tate Ratledge was like we're going to use PFF to fit my narrative. He was like a 90-point-something graded offensive lineman. Penei Sewell was nearly perfect at 99. What they were able to do, and what really started in between, right in the middle of that 18-play, 97-yard drive, they started to manhandle that Ravens front 7, which is something we don't hear very often. And what did that run game do later in the game? What did that commitment to the run game do later in the game? It opened up those passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown, to Laporta, that big 4th down conversion late in the game, which we're going to talk about. It was one of those that, the Lions are 2-1, and we say they're back. They're back because of how it looked. Absolutely. Because of the physicality and how the trenches, offense and defensive line, controlled that game. We got a couple super chats. William, $5 here. Said, good morning, Broder. Let's hope for a sack-alicious day. And Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery get a touchdown. Go Hutchinson and go Muhammad. That's AQM, go Lions. Thank you, William. Reminder, everyone, you can interact in the chat all show long. Send us a super chat to skip that line. We'll read it off, get you to the front of the line like Dante151, Justin, with a $20 super chat. The man, Dante.
The man.
We get early football today with Steelers and Vikings. Also take the Vikings because Steelers' run game took a hit with not having Jalen Warren, but the Vikings won't have Andrew Van Ginkel today in Ireland. Dante also says Lions 45, Browns 10. So, yeah, Justin, real quick, there's a game that starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern out in Dublin, Ireland. We got the Vikings.
I hate morning football.
And the Steelers. Vikings are 4-0 in international games. Aaron Rodgers is 0-2 in international games. Anything interest you about this game?
No. I couldn't care less.
The Vikings are playing?
I know what the Vikings are.
What about Carson Wentz, dude? Former MVP candidate.
You're not making me waste my Sunday morning watching that. I'm going to go downtown and I'm going to start pre-gaming the Lions game. I'll lightly check it if it's on the screens at the bar, but I already know what the Vikings are as a football team. I already know what the Steelers are as a football team. I get my fix on Saturdays when I want to be a football degenerate. I watch college football from 12 to midnight, sometimes later. And make sure you tune into Woodward Wolverines on Tuesday nights to catch that.
So to distill that or summarize that, J.J. McCarthy's not playing, so he ain't watching.
Hey! Would you be watching if J.J. was playing?
Michigan fan, I see.
Yes.
Let's go.
Probably.
But I wasn't planning on going.
I don't root for JJ though. I gotta make sure that's clear. I'm not letting these bozos in the chat get anything on me.
You would just rather watch him at quarterback than Carson Wentz.
Absolutely.
I would
you
too.
watch Jaden.
That makes that game watchable at least. Yeah. I do not care about watching Carson Wentz. Like that is the retirement bowl between Carson Wentz and Aaron Rodgers. What? What do you like? Am I wrong?
Two old quarterbacks.
But you said something. You know who the Vikings are already. Who are they to you? Like, are you
a 9-win football team, 9-10 win football team?
So you're low on the Vikings.
No, I thought they were the second best team in the division until Micah Parsons came here.
So you put the Packers over them with that trade?
Yeah, and with JJ being hurt.
I don't know. Am I in the majority because JJ's hurt?
Yeah, I'd probably. It's so tough. Micah Parsons is such a playmaker, though. He really does make that defense elite. I don't like Jordan Love, though. I never have. I never will. He showed you last week what he is. Mm-hmm. And when you watch today, make sure when you watch today, okay? And I know it was an away game, okay? But when you watch today, make sure that you watch Jared Goff. And you will see the difference of why Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Jordan Love with the way that he navigates the Browns' defense. The Browns' defense is elite. Number 1 in running, number 4 in passing. One of the best defenses in the NFL. Jordan Love crumbled under the pressure last week against this Cleveland Browns front. Jared Goff will not do that. Jared Goff will show you how he is better under pressure and why he has one of the best completion rates against blitzes in the entire NFL.
But Jordan Love, he's like an early MVP candidate, man. Like he's mobile. He can throw on the run. But those are the traits that you're supposed to have if you want to be an elite quarterback. Like, forget the 5 years or 3 sitting behind a quarterback, another couple up and down, sometimes injured, sometimes throwing picks.
Hey, look, Broder, with our college guy here as well, I think that this is an appropriate fit for Jordan Love. To me, he is the equivalent of the September and the October Heisman. That's exactly what he is. Every year it's the expectations. It's every year people get enamored with one cool win in the beginning of the season, but where are the expectations being met in the Jordan Love era? I've heard people for 3 years try to tell me how much better he is than Jared Goff. I've even heard people tell me how much still better of an organization the Packers are than the Lions. But when we look at the results, the only thing I can really, really find that they've done more than us is cry. Whether it's been Tucker Kraft, whether it's been Jordan Love, whether it's been McKinney, whether it's even been their GM, Brian Gutekunst, complaining about the fact that we want to celebrate winning. Maybe that's the reason why they haven't met expectations yet.
How about Matt LaFleur?
Oh my gosh.
We forgot he's the most recent.
Arguing with a fan, bro. No.
It's funny, the difference in head coaches in the NFC North, and while we haven't seen Ben Johnson that long yet, maybe it's not fair to put him in that category, but I have a lot of respect for Kevin O'Connell and Matt LaFleur. Like, really good coaches. I also expect both of them to fold in the big moments, to fold in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Dan Campbell, while he hasn't proved it truly yet in the playoffs, he's only been here for a couple years and some tough losses. I just expect him to be the coach that this team needs in the big moments now. I don't worry about game management or going for it on 4th down. Like, Dan Campbell, I have complete and utter faith in. And I don't know if that could be proven any more than this last stretch. I mean, include the Bears game if you want, but these last 2 games, I think, answered any coordinator questions you had and should shine that light on your head coach, the man running the show. We spent the whole offseason, Justin, talking about how much it's going to take for this team to overcome the loss.
The coordinators.
Really good coordinators.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The coordinators.
You're not making fun of the individual coordinators.
No.
You're making fun of the fact that losing 2 coordinators was supposed to be the downfall of this Detroit Lions team. Losing Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler was supposed to be the downfall of this Lions offensive line. But you know what? They got Dan Campbell. He kept Hank Fraley. Every decision Dan Campbell has made, including bringing in Tashard Choice as their running back coach. And, what are we going to do with Scotty Montgomery, our assistant head coach, one of the brightest young leaders in the game? We're going to go put him and lead the room with J-Mo. And Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif and TeSlaa. Dan Campbell is running this show, and that's why this Lions team will not only maybe never lose back-to-back games again, they're going to be there, they're going to show up. That physicality and toughness will always be there on a Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, or Saturday, or Wednesday, or Tuesday, the way the NFL is going these days.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to talk about an offseason constructed by the national media to tear down the good faith that this team has built up over the last 2 years and have proven time and time again how elite that they are? It proves how good Dan Campbell is at running a team and being able to continue to bring in strong coaches that have impacts on their players. Every single one of their players would die for their coach of their single-handed position, and that shows you everything you need to know about this Detroit Lions coaching staff. They are all great. They are players, coaches. They all played in the NFL as well, which is such a big thing for Dan Campbell hiring guys in his staffs. And even I was critical when Zadarius Smith went to the Eagles, and I will say that up front, and I will be completely honest about that.
Yeah.
And I still do believe that we need an edge in the depth variety, okay? And you can kill me on that, but the fact that we only have 3 edges on the roster, in my opinion, is an issue. We need a 4th edge. Like, that's not like a crazy statement in my opinion. It could be a depth edge. It doesn't have to be someone of that Zadarius Smith or even Jadeveon Clowney. I know he just got signed by the Cowboys.
Right, but the point.
We need a 4th edge. And whether that's an impact player, whether that's later in the season when you get a player like Trey Hendrickson, if the Bengals are out of playoff contention, does he resurface again in rumors? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think there will be a 4th edge on this team, whether or not that's and I'm going to get killed in chat. I already know I am. I don't really give a shit.
And I agree with you on that. On both the points that you had going on there, I still believe this team needs another edge. They need pass rush help. The season has just begun, and the one thing we know about this, the one of the most important words in football is depth. This team got by last year because of its depth, and if they take any more hits this year, they're going to be sorely lacking more so than they were last year, if you just kind of look at things. So I would prefer that they go out and get more depth, because we saw that the teams that won, so Weezy D, I'm not apologizing, the teams that got to the Super Bowl and the team that won, it was because of how healthy they were and how much depth they had. That's what I want our Detroit Lions team to do, is to emulate teams that win Super Bowls, period. And they're on their way. And I do believe that. And I think it's because of that first point you were talking about, Justin, as it relates to Dan Campbell and his ability to hire the right people to make impacts. And I'm so glad that you used the word impact, because it's not them. They get the ability to innovate within their field, but it's what Dan Campbell's done. And I think that this is the year of Dan Campbell proving that he's the brains behind the success. Everybody's been so quick to attribute things to Ben Johnson offensively, and that I believe that it's the biggest slap in the face to Dan Campbell ultimately. And I do believe when you have a leader as a player's coach, he played in this league, the players, he connects with them. But then you also have a coach that's putting all of his guys in the best possible spot to succeed, because he is more than just a manager or a leader of people, or maybe I know the offense, not the defense. From everything I understand, Dan Campbell has a firm grip on both the offense and the defense here.
This is Dan Campbell's team. Andrew Bro in the chat. Andrew Bro. Very good chance that's my dad. I've never actually finally caught one of his comments. But Andrew Bro asks, how likely will both Detroit teams win today and both Cleveland teams lose today? The Tigers wrap up the season later on against Boston. We need a Cleveland Guardians loss.
Yeah.
I think the chance that the Lions wins a little higher than the Tigers, since Scuba will not be pitching. They're going to be saving him for the first round. So I'm going to go 50%.
20% on my part. Man, I'm sorry.
45.
You serious?
45. Also, relax. I only want edge because we only have 3, and you should have 4 edges on an NFL football team. I wasn't complaining. Relax. And also, I never said it was over. I still said after week 1 we're going to win the Super Bowl. So, relax.
to keep you all apprised, Stick Radio in the chat says, tune in just in time to hear Justin complaining about the Edge.
Bro,
LOL.
anytime I say anything he disagrees with, it's always as soon as he tunes in.
He says, I'm just here for Justin to tell me it's over after week 1. Watching Easy and Justin do a 180 after the Ravens has been satisfying.
Never been a 180.
WeezyD313, Easy not going to apologize when Ivy and All-Star either. Jaden Ivy.
Hey, I agree
And
with
he's
that,
wrong,
Weezy.
by the way. I mean, he's wrong, by the way. The whole debate was predicated on the fact that Brad and Dan Campbell have unlimited leeway, but they're not in my point was they're not in the same class as Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni because they have won Super Bowls. That was my only point. They are not more beyond reproach than the Eagles GM and coach because they've actually won a Super Bowl. That was all I was saying. There's a class that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have to get into that they are not in yet, and that is the class of the Andy Reids and the Siriannis and the Howie Rosemans. When you win a Super Bowl, and that's what we're chasing. So I'm sorry that's.
I have no problem with you giving flowers to Howie Roseman, to Brett Veach, to any. They are the class. Like they've done it in multiple different ways. The Eagles. We look up to the Eagles in a lot of ways, and we want to do what they did to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Yeah. You're itching to say something cool.
No, Justin over here saying that effectively, he's going to put on for our guys that triggered Stick into saying Jaden Ivey greater than sign Justin Satawa.
Hey, at least I got him to admit something that he's never admitted to himself before.
Shane D, Stick always stirring the pot. You should pick the spoon, Stick. WeezyD313. Brad and Dan cooked, y'all. Just hold that L. Brad and Dan did cook.
They did cook. And that's why I still think they're going to win the Super Bowl. And I always have said that, even with all the criticism I've given, because you know what it is? It was week 1. And you know what then it was? It was week 2. And you know what it is now? Week 4. And you know how many games are left in the season? Like, there's a lot of season left, guys.
Games.
So what do you think? And real quick, Donovan Wayne in the chat. This Lions team is like the Red Wings of the 90s, stacked with grit, speed, skill from top to bottom with the best coach in the league. That's right.
Damn straight.
No, I'm sorry. Stick wants me to anoint Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell as the best coach and the best GM in the NFL right now. No, it's not happening.
You don't have to. I'm with you. I think they're up. They're in that upper echelon.
They're in the upper echelon, absolutely.
They got. So this is still what, year 4, year 5?
Yeah.
And I'll take them against anyone, but
year 4.
I'm not gonna slash
and where do
guys
we
like
see them?
Sirianni and Roseman.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where do we see them usually wind up in the rankings? Literally right behind the guys that have recently won the Super Bowls. And so it's like we've talked about this. All of us actually talked about this stuff and broke bread on it. And even me, Detroit Kool-Aids, had to understand, hey, until they win that Super Bowl, including Jared Goff, some of these narratives are going to have them stop just short of the greats in this league currently.
I feel you, and we forget sometimes this is a lot of what they're doing is relatively new to the league, or maybe new's not the right word. They're unique. Like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are, leading the path in a lot of their new strategies, both in game and in the type of players they're drafting, how they're constructing a team. I love Brad Holmes, and if we were starting an organization today, I'd have a long thought about starting a team with Brad Holmes versus Howie Roseman. Stick made a good point. Tell me how Howie Roseman did his first 4 years. He took over a winning team, not a dumpster fire. I have faith in Brad Holmes, how he's constructed this team. He and Dan Campbell have built a powerhouse full of 25-year-olds.
Yep.
This team is young. They're growing. They're hungry. It's just the beginning. I also want to take a little shift just to give a nod to the team that the Lions are playing today, the Cleveland Browns. I thought they had a really good draft day.
Oh, yeah, they had a really good draft.
Before the season started, now looking at what's going on with Travis Hunter, how Mason Graham is playing, how Carson Schlesinger
I knew that
is
trade
playing.
was going to be a great trade as soon as they did it. Getting the extra first-round pick for that was utter masterclass by Cleveland. That was such a great move. And then Mason Graham.
Stud.
Absolute stud. He was, in my opinion, he was the most NFL-ready prospect in the draft.
In the entire draft.
And he's shown it so far. He's a big reason why this Cleveland Browns team has the best run defense in the entire NFL. He's an absolute monster. He was a monster at Michigan. I had no doubt that he was going to be a good NFL pro. And he was also the safest pick in that draft. So to be able to get the safest pick to get extra draft capital as well, that was a great move by the Cleveland Browns. Very savvy, something we're not used to saying when it comes to that organization.
No, that's why it seemed dirty at the time, and then all the headlines are about Shedeur Sanders, but you kind of forget Mason Graham round 1, Carson Schwartzinger, who's turned in. He's a Rookie of the Year candidate early in the season. He looks like a stud. Quinshon Judkins. Stopping him is going to be a key to this game that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And even the tight end out of Bowling Green. Good old Pete's 5X dude, Harold Fannin Jr. Stud.
Hey, let Pete
I wanted
cook.
the Lions
Let
to
Pete
draft
cook.
him. I loved Harold Fannin in the draft. He was just an absolute athletic monster. He reminded me of, he was ripping up the MAC the way that Corey Davis used to. Like, he just had that level of impact where no one in their right mind in the MAC could guard him, and that showed me that he looked like he was an NFL-ready tight end, and he's looked the part so far.
Bowling Green producing. All right, 8:30 here. Everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. This is First to the Whistle. I'm joined by Justin Satawa, who's sitting in for Terry Foster, the legend today. We got Kool-Aid in the TD booth and Willie B in the sound booth. Before I get to our next segment, which is a nod to Sharon's heating and air conditioning, I just got to ask you, Justin, because we're both I'll put myself in your category as a young fellow. How does it feel, or did you ever dream of, one day your name would be filling in for Terry Foster for a live Detroit Lions sports talk show? How's that feel?
Oh, it's ridiculous. And I was thinking about that this morning.
Isn't that wild? Pinch yourself.
No, I've come such a long way. I remember walking in these doors in March of last year and having little confidence, and I've sat up on the desk a couple times last year, and it was pedestrian to how it feels right now. So to be filling in for T-Foss is a great honor. To share the desk with him was another, and I don't know, just Woodward Sports to the moon, man. I love it. I love it here. I love you guys. I wouldn't be here without Kool-Aid, without Stick. So shout out to them two in particular, and obviously everyone else. But those
Justin.
two in particular were
Justin.
two biggest for my journey.
Justin.
You earn it.
Because you did so much for this station and a lot more, and you got every right to be in the same position as like legends like Terry Foster, Sean Bleach, and Matt Broder. You earn every bit of it, and Kool-Aid is that, you earn it. You're like player of the year.
Dude's a grinder. Remember his first shows last year, 2024 NFL draft. You showed up and you started talking for like 30 minutes on the mic, and then you, Anson, and I were hosting a day 2 show here the following day. Love that. Stick said if the O-line dominates this game, they're officially as good as last year. And then my guy Bello Pizzamente, old classmate and teammate of mine back in high school, says it was immediately apparent against Baltimore how Jared Goff is a different player with a clean pocket. How much do we think the presence of Myles Garrett impacts him today? I'm going to hold that question, Bello. We're going to talk about that when we get into the Browns here in the next 20
and there's another one to hold too from
minutes.
Joel, wondering if this game is a trap game too.
Is it a trap game? What? I'll phrase it. I'll phrase it to you. I don't know if it's a trap game. It's a game the Lions should win, but I don't feel like they or anyone is underestimating the Browns right now.
That
that defensive line is real.
Yep.
And it's a feeling. It sounds like you kind of agree with me, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I was going to say bingo, that's it. I respect this Browns team. I respect their makeup. And you saw that defense is something that you got to take a pause at. You don't just go in, no matter how prolific our offense can be, and think, this is one that we know we're just going to go in there and they're going to roll over, because they're not going to do that. Not with guys like, with Garrett over there. And so it's going to be interesting. And Jim Schwartz, it's just when you're playing against him and you're the Lions, it's just you got to pay extra attention, because I do believe we're one of those teams that he probably plans for as if it's the Super Bowl. We've seen this man carried off our field on his team's shoulders, bro. Not today.
Not today. He's got a little banter going on with Lions OC John Morton that we're going to talk about. But
I wouldn't say it's a trap game. I'd say it's a letdown spot. And it's not about who the Cleveland Browns are. It's about who the Lions are. And after coming off of a huge win in Baltimore, a place that we have our demons and a team that we have our demons against for sure, and we were able to overcome that. and we play a great game. I mean, we controlled the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, there was not a point in that game where I really felt like the Lions lost their grip on the game control that they wanted to have to play to their script. Now, the thing is, you play on Monday night, shorter week than what the Browns had. They played at 1 on Sunday. You then have them coming in off a win. They're feeling high. You're feeling high. I mean, I think it's just a letdown spot. If anything, I don't think it's a trap game, though. I think the Lions know exactly what they're getting into.
Fair. Lions. Yes, Lions. Dante151, $4.99 super chat says, is it Jackson Meek's legacy game today? With him being called up today for the Lions against the Browns. Also, week 1 is and always will be an overreaction. Facts to that. Week 1 was an overreaction. Jackson Meek's a preseason hero for a lot of Lions fans.
The new Tom Kennedy.
Nod, jump up to the active roster today. So he will be suiting up, I believe. In honor of Sharon's heating and air conditioning, I'm going to do a little Matt's maintenance check with you here, Justin. I just want one player, coach, unit, however you want to interpret. We're gonna select one player who's a well-oiled machine right now, meaning they're running flawlessly like a brand new furnace. One player or coach, unit,
I was gonna
whatever.
say thank you. I thought you noticed my new bod. Going to like Planet Fitness and everything.
You are
You doing good,
a well-oiled
Kool-Aid?
machine, a fine-tuned
No.
machine.
Yeah.
I want you to name one player who needs some servicing. So not a total replacement. You don't need a brand new furnace. You just need someone with some flaws that need some fixing, some oil. And then if there is one, and I'm including the if because it's kind of hard from the Ravens game, a player or coach or unit that needs a total replacement. So following that Ravens game, going into the Browns game, Justin, who's a well-oiled machine?
Well-oiled machine, I will say Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that he is the only player who is above reproach so far this season. He has consistently showed up time and time again. Every time he's been called on, and he deserves that type of respect. He is a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL right now. He continues to prove it every single day. So my answer would have to be Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Love it. Kool-Aid Willie, you guys want in on this?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Send it, Willie, and I'll go
Okay.
you, then Kool-Aid.
I mean, I already say Brown.
Shows that he's a playmaker. When Jared Goff's main guy to throw it in the touchdown passes, and he able to catch it. As long as he need to stop twerking his ass, nobody want to see that. As long as he don't those suspect celebrations, and I don't want to see all that.
Bro,
Man. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
shout out to
Not in a
Willie.
sus way, but I
Pause.
love it. I think it's hilarious.
Nice
I think
buns.
that the fact that he was cheeked up like that was kind of crazy. However,
Double
the
cheeked up.
fact that he expresses himself when he celebrates and he gets
Come
active,
on, man. Come on.
and I think it's hilarious. I go get your celebration bag, Amon-Ra, because he's just having fun out there.
He's
and
done. He
he's
done
just
have fun.
cooking kids and
There was
saying some explicit language on the broadcast.
the Sights and Sounds thumbnail that the Detroit Lions posted, admin going crazy. That was I don't want to say a troll, but there are levels to that. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, there's some clip, it's either Twitter or TikTok. It's out there on social media of like this Lions team having fun. You brought up Amon-Ra St. Brown shaking his buns and having fun. This team, when they celebrate
That rhymes.
touchdowns, interceptions, they're having a good time. All of them, including Tyleik Williams as the center pin in the bowling alley. Kool-Aid. Oh, wait. Actually, real quick. I don't know if you guys saw Jahmai Jones after his RBI double 2 days ago. He hit him with the bun shake and the Amon-Ra first down.
Hell yeah.
It was right at the end of the clip.
That's
on,
what we need. We need
Apple TV.
Instead of the Detroit Red Wings gloves and helmet like they did 2 years ago, they got to bring out a football helmet, some Lions gloves. I think that'd be sweet. I think
it'd be
give
dope.
him a little juice coming into the postseason.
A little bit of juice. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Well-oiled machine for Sharon's Heating and Cooling. Who is just running smoothly?
I agree, with Justin's pick of Amon-Ra St. Brown, but if there was another player I wanted to highlight, it's actually 2 players.
Let it fly.
One is Jack Campbell. I love my linebackers. And the other one, shout out to Tom Begman in the chat. He says Laporta has been elite so far. I just want to give Sam Laporta some props because the things he's doing when he's not catching the ball,
Yes.
the things he's doing when he's not the target, the things he's doing to line up on that offensive line that make it that much more elite. We were wondering about what they're going to do at center. then you look at Braylon's breakdowns during the week and you see some of these plays and you're like, yo, this offensive line is crazy good because of who they do have in the interior, at the guard, on the edge, on the outsides, but also because those tight ends and those wide receivers getting their nose dirty. So wanted to just say what up, though, to Sam Laporta. And Jack Campbell has just been ideal.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about Jack Campbell in just a few minutes. But I'm glad you called out Laporta because he's that guy that people will look at a box score and not understand the impact that he had on a football game. Dan Campbell will shout it out immediately in a press conference. But what Sam Laporta is able to do for them in both the run and the pass game, whether he's catching the ball or not, it's special. It's why he is one of the 5 best tight ends in the league still. I'm going to go with David Montgomery.
Ooh.
This is a man.
Yeah.
I think in our heads, we remember him from the Washington game where he just didn't look the same. He didn't look like that bruiser that we know just trucks anyone in his pathway with those quads that are bigger than this freaking screen. He looked healthy and ready to go against the Ravens.
Yeah.
And he's not a burner by any means. He did get caught on that 72-yard run, but it's how he broke that free that reminds me, all right, David Montgomery's back. Breaking tackles. He's shifty, man, Willie.
He got that Earl Campbell type of and Mike Austin type of fullback if he wants to run people over. It's up to him to decide what I need to do and how to capitalize what he uses his size and his speed for in the running game.
Yeah.
Him and Gibbs. Oh no. Him and Gibbs.
Yeah.
They both need to figure out how to get through that line.
Yeah.
And they got it. Just got to utilize what he got. Guys gives to him.
And I think John Morton's starting to figure that out with more confidence, with more rhythm in a game. How he's not only using both of them in some of the same formations, whether that's just being out on the field at the same time or running that I formation with Sam Laporta, David Montgomery, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's so fun to watch. And my confidence in John Morton after this Baltimore Ravens game, I don't want to say flipped because I was confident in him, but the one thing I really needed to see, especially after the first game against Green Bay, was John Morton show us that he has some of that crystal ball in him, some of that what made Ben Johnson special is how he's able to call plays with the third and fourth quarter in mind, with a game 2-3 weeks in advance, thinking about how his play calls in the first quarter against the Ravens are going to translate later in that game or later in the season, even later in a drive. Because that fourth down conversion, Jared Goff to St. Brown, was set up earlier in that drive where they ran 3 running plays leading up to that play. They had 3 straight running plays where they motioned Amon-Ra St. Brown in closer to the right tackle. It might have been tight end. Run 3 straight running plays. That fourth one, a 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, you think they're going to just give it to Montgomery or Gibbs? Amon-Ra St. Brown fakes the block again and then totally leaves Marlon Humphrey
in the dust
for a perfectly thrown ball by Jared Goff, perfectly caught pass from Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like what I'm seeing out of John Morton. How about a player that needs servicing? Not a full total replacement, just one that, all right, I see good things, I see bad things. He's got to clean it up before this Browns game.
That's such a tough answer because there's not a lot of players who are not playing up to their potential. This is a nitpick, okay? There's no other way to take this question. I'm going to say Kirby Joseph.
Okay.
I just don't think we've heard his name as much as we're accustomed to. And he's an impact player. He's a high turnover player who produces that level. I want to hear his name.
Okay.
I want to hear intercepted by Kirby Joseph. Something like that.
You think it could be happening this week with
Absolutely.
Browns got a middle of the pack offensive line. Joe Flacco, he's a veteran, but he will turn the ball over. They have, I believe it's the fewest rush attempts in the NFL at like 65. So they're going to throw the ball, and if the Lions are up, they're definitely going to throw the ball. So this could be a game where Kirby gets a pick. Kool-Aid, what player you still confident in? Just needs a little oil, needs a tune-up.
Oh, man. That's actually a really good question. But I'm going to give another week for one Terrion Arnold.
Thank you.
I'm going to give another week for him. And at least through the first half of this season, to get his bearings right, to get his feet underneath him, and to get acclimated to this new season and however people are going to attack him, because it seems right now he is the focus of the offenses that they have faced so far. They're going to target him, and he's going to face a lot of man. They're not going to necessarily put him in a lot of positions where he's going to have too much help. But I'm going to still have some faith, man. I know I probably don't sound the most confident.
No, you're fine.
But I'm going to have a little bit of faith. Just give him a little bit of tune-up, and I think he'll be okay.
You're fine. I'm going to double up on that. And I see ball knowers in the chat, or guys that are still confident in their guy. Bello Pizzamente, Terrion Arnold. Speakeasy Sports, Terrion Arnold. I'm going to go Terrion Arnold, too. Excuse me. Weezy D313, I think, said something,
who's
too.
Who's going to be your replacement?
The fans running TA out of town just like Okuda. I'm putting him in the needs servicing category and not the total replacement category, because I think that's where everybody is putting him. Someone that Terrion Arnold needs to change everything. He's a bust.
I wouldn't go that far.
Moved
but
up to get him in the first
I just don't think that
round.
there's anyone else who, like this next one is full maintenance. There's no one else who's playing as bad as Terrion Arnold.
I don't have one for a total replacement. Okay. Like, it was
I didn't
Marcus
know we could do
Davenport.
that.
But
Cheater.
what?
You can't make a third subsection and just not pick it. I was planning on. I don't want to bash TA in the full replacement category and act like he's playing like absolute dog. No, he's finding his way. You didn't hear from him in the second half for a reason. He played a good second half against the Ravens.
He's clearly struggled this year. Like, he's not been perfect. He's not been good. But I'm not worried about TA. Like, he literally just needs some servicing. He needs some mental servicing. He needs not some physical servicing. He just needs to get right. But I'm not worried about him. This whole coaching staff, all his teammates, they're as confident as anybody, Justin.
They are. They still talk about him when he's going to be an All-Pro one.
Yeah.
So,
but Kelvin Shepard's going to give some more snaps to Amik Robertson. We want to see him a little bit more on the outside. You cool with that? You excited to see Amik?
Yeah, I mean, Amik played great out there last year. I have no problem with putting Amik out there. I think hopefully it will help Terrion Arnold just get a better feel for the defensive backfield in the NFL.
Yeah. Speakeasy. Stick Radio said they went more zone in the second. That helped TA. Yeah, it just feels like he's the one that's been caught giving up some big yardage. But this is what excites me, and we're going to transition from TA and this Sharon's heating and air conditioning segment. Before we get into the Browns game, that defense and Kelvin Shepard, where would you rank, or how would you rate how Kelvin Shepard has led this defensive unit in his first 3 games as DC?
How would I grade it?
Grade it, rate it. Just like, where are you with Kelvin Shepard?
We good. I didn't even mean to use the "we're good" tag on it, but no, I think we're good. I love what Kelvin Shepard's done. I love his game plan against the Ravens. That was absolutely spectacular. It's obvious the players play for him. They love him as a coach, and I think that I'm not ready to say it yet because AG obviously did a lot of great things here, but he's showing flashes that he could be better than AG. His ability to adjust earlier in games, that's something that everyone always had a gripe with AG. Kelvin Shepard's done a great job adjusting. He did it in the Green Bay game as well. Everyone forgets the second half of the Green Bay game. The Green Bay struggled to score the entire second half. Everyone loves to forget that. He's called some great games so far. I'm very excited to have him as our DC. I think he's done a fantastic job. I think he's only going to continue to get better. I see B+ in the chat, and that would be, if I was grading him so far, it would be a B+. I think he's done a very nice job. I think there's another level he can get, but for right now, B+. Very nice job, Kelvin.
Yeah, he's different than Aaron Glenn. People just expect, because he is different. The internal hire, that we're getting Aaron Glenn Jr. We're getting mini Glenn, but that's not the case with a guy like Kelvin Shepard. He learned a lot from Aaron Glenn, and will take ingredients from the sauce that Aaron Glenn was making here in Detroit and on his way to be a head coach in New York. But he also wants to do things differently. Aaron Glenn, remember, was a cornerback. He was a DB when he played. Kelvin Shepard was a linebacker.
And I think you see that. And it's also
That's where
because he
I'm
comes
headed.
from LSU as well. I think there's a lot of like that LSU mindset mentality sprinkled into this defense because you see the way that they go sideline to sideline and the way that they mix pressure. That's very LSU-esque from Calvin Shepard. So he has 100% learned from his mentors throughout his coaching career. However, every bits and pieces of his journey is now shown in his defense from the LSUs, from the AGs, all of it together. You can see it when it comes to the field on Sundays.
Yeah. Now back to that edge rushing conversation that you and Stick and Bello and the chat's been having.
Also, Stick thinks that we're going to trade for Trey Hendrickson late in the year. So, like, I don't know why he's so up in arms with the fact that I think that we need a fourth edge rusher on our roster. He literally thinks we're going to trade for Trey Hendrickson. So, who's moving goalposts now, Stick? Come on.
They might.
go.
If there was ever a year to do, like we all have been clamoring for another edge
And
rusher.
he doesn't have another year in his deal. He's going to be worth nothing.
That's the key. It never really made sense to trade for him where you'd have to give something up, and then there's the expectation that you have to sign him to a long-term contract. But if the Lions go out and beat the Browns lose a couple more games, they're out of the playoff picture, you could trade for him, not give up as much, and only have to pay him for a couple games. Yeah. Because he signed that 1-year extension, reworked his contract with Cleveland. So it's a possibility. But back on the Calvin Shepard, to bring it back to Calvin Shepard, I think we learned something from this Ravens game that was right in front of us the whole time, that was probably obvious to all of us. I don't know if it makes it better, but I want your opinion on this because it seems clear to me that, and maybe it's the main reason, but it seems clear to me that Brad Holmes isn't prioritizing that second edge rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson because Calvin Shepard's the DC. And specifically because Calvin Shepard is going to create a defense that highlights the linebackers, where Derek Barnes and Nowaski and Anzalone and even some more Jack Campbell are going to be not edge rushers, but freaking rushing off the edge.
Yes.
We saw a number, at least 4 of the sacks last week, weren't on just rushing off the edge, but it was on what he was doing with the linebackers, whether it was spying them or having creative stunts where the linebackers are allowed to use their athleticism to go get the quarterback. Something we haven't seen in years past. Something you couldn't do when Malcolm Rodriguez is your starting linebacker. No offense to Malcolm. Really good linebacker, really good piece. I'm excited to see him when he comes back. But you got a freak athlete in Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
A freak athlete in Derek Barnes. Really, really good athletes
You
in
have one of the
Nowaski
best.
and Anzalone, too. Let them be athletic.
Yeah, one of the most athletic linebacking cores in the entire NFL. No doubt about that, especially sideline to sideline.
Yeah. Did you hear the comments Calvin Shepard made about Derek Barnes this week?
No, I did not.
He told Brad Holmes this offseason, I think it was, beginning of the offseason, he goes, that's a player I have to have. He got that contract because of Calvin Shepard, because of their relationship, but also because he knows what type of player that is. And I just have this feeling that Calvin Shepard is going to continue to innovate with the linebackers, especially if Jack Campbell can play as consistent as he looked against the Ravens. It allows you to bring Barnes off the edge. It allows you to let these guys run. And to be determined if I'm sold on that strategy. But if you're not going to go get another edge rusher or more depth, let those linebackers fly.
Yeah, and that is a saving grace for this team, and it's just another way that you can stylistically beat an opponent. Because at the end of the day, linebackers are more athletic than defensive ends for the most part and have better sideline-to-sideline mobility, especially when you're playing running quarterbacks. I think that did help against Lamar Jackson this weekend, having that ability to have Nowaski, to have
and
Barnes and spy, and to do all those things that we aren't used to the Lions doing. It was great to see, and I think that Calvin Shepard's defense is only going to get better, especially as, they get Aleem McNeil back at some point, which will be absolutely massive for this team, especially because he's not going to have to play a lot of the run-heavy downs. Like, you have Tyleik now. Like, Tyleik has come into his own as a young defensive tackle on this roster. You obviously still have DJ Reader. You have Josh Pascal waiting in the wings as well.
Yep.
He's due
DJ
back
Reader.
in the next couple weeks.
CEO said DJ Reader had a good game against the Ravens.
Yes, he did. He is a great great run stuffer, and that's exactly what he did to Derrick Henry in the playoff game in 2021 when everyone kind of learned of who DJ Reader was when he shut down Derrick Henry in that playoff game. That's been DJ Reader's job in his entire time as a defensive tackle, and he's done a glorious job. One of the best run stuffers in the NFL.
And what do DTs like that do? Like, what does that open up for? Like, we talked all offseason about the reinforcements on the interior are going to be good for Hutch, but what it really helps the most is the linebackers.
Oh, absolutely.
When they can eat up 2 offensive linemen, it creates holes for those linebackers to go get the quarterback, to go get the running back. We saw both of those happen on
Jack
fourth.
Campbell was finding those
third
lanes
and
all
fourth
day.
down and third and fourth and goal against Eagles aside. You'd say probably the best red zone offense in the league. I don't know what the numbers are, but when you got the Lamar and Derrick Henry, and you're on the 2-yard line, they're going to score 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's uber impressive.
So, drafting Tyleik Williams round 1, weird. That was a smart move.
It was a smart move.
Taking a interior offensive lineman round 2, man, that's a smart move. Those 2 units won the Ravens game.
Yeah.
Those 2 units allowed Gibbs and Montgomery to run free, allowed Goff to surgically dice up a really good secondary.
Absolutely. Another great draft by Brad Holmes with instant impact on this roster.
Yeah. Justin, before we get to this Browns game, almost 9 o'clock, we got 30 minutes left. I have a question
to the
for
Browns
you.
game yet.
We had
just been talking about last week.
We have, and it's been fun. And we got 500 people in the chat here. Let's reset. Thank you for joining us. Guys, if you could hit that like button, maybe hit the subscribe button, it would really help us out. We'd appreciate it. I have a question for you, Justin. Is Goff and St. Brown, is that the best wide receiver duo in the NFL right now, today? The best wide receiver quarterback duo in the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah, tandem.
Yes, absolutely.
Without question.
So, a slow game manager who throws wobbly ducks, isn't mobile at all, has small hands, and a 4th-round slow slot merchant. So, those 2 are the best wide receiver quarterback duo in the NFL right now?
Only because Joe Burrow's hurt, but yeah.
Okay,
I gotta
so
be.
you got my
I
wrinkle.
gotta be fair. I gotta be fair. I'm sorry.
I said right now for a reason.
I know you said. I know. I know you. Why you did. You're using your words. You're doing a TeSlaa on me or a Neil rule. But I see that they are the best as of right now. This date, players who are active right now, they are the best wide receiver quarterback duo in the NFL. Period.
Mic drop.
Yes.
I don't know if it's even close. Oh, by the way, Stick says, "Watch yourself, Broder." I was poking a little too much fun at Jared Goff. You guys know I'm with Stick on this. Like, there's Stick, and I'm right there to support the Army. But it's true. Joe Burrow's injured, so he and Jamar Chase are out of the mix. Justin Jefferson has Carson Wentz, J.J. McCarthy. They're not in it. So I have St. Brown as the 3rd best wide receiver.
I have him as the 3rd best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah. Stafford and Nakua. That's a good one.
You could argue.
Baker to Ibuka.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Let's relax on that.
It's Goff and St. Brown. We saw it. I don't even remember how many
Wow,
passes.
were you hoping for some pushback there from me? Were you hoping that I said no?
To who?
That they weren't the best?
No, I kind of just wanted like 5 minutes to just
glaze everyone,
remind the
yeah.
audience, like, hey, the Detroit Lions have the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the NFL. They have the best running back duo in the NFL. They're one of the best offensive lines, probably the best number 2 or a top 3 number 2 wide receiver in the NFL as well. I don't know, and I'm not even going to – you know what? I will check. Jared Goff's stats against the Ravens. I'm going to bet you that he threw less than 30 passes. Jared Goff versus the Ravens was – all right, sorry, hang on here, chat. 20 of 28. That's his sweet spot. 25 to 35 passes. And that's not me saying you can't win with Jared Goff throwing more passes. He's not a good thrower. He's not a guy that should be throwing 40 times. He needs to be throwing less than 35 passes a game because that means you're also running the ball. If he's throwing 40, you're truly not committed to the run game. And that's what I wasn't sure if John Morton was going to be as committed to the run game, stay committed to it as it was working. Midway through the second quarter against the Ravens, sometimes Ben Johnson would get a little pass happy. He would get a little cute and try to throw the ball when their run game was still trying to catch up, still trying to get into the rhythm. John Morton stuck with it, and it paid off in dividends. I want to remind everyone, Goff, since 2024, is 27-3. 17-3. With a 73% completion percentage, first in the NFL in yards, second in yards per attempt, tied for first in fourth quarter comebacks. So they truly have a surgeon back there, able to find one of the best route runners and the best hands in the NFL. Let's transition. Actually, I got one fun question for you. Jared Goff's the quarterback. Who's got the second best arm on the team? Jack Fox, Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery. This came from that flea flicker
God damn, that's a tough question.
That pass. Remember David Montgomery last year? He threw that pass to Sam Laporta in the back of the end zone.
I got Monty.
Dart.
I got Monty. He was a high school quarterback, and this might be just, I don't know. I've played foaling with Jack Fox 3 times in my life at the Grand Prix, or not the Grand Prix, at the
Foaling Warehouse.
Detroit, the Detroit Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Foaling Warehouse comes out every year to do foaling, and Jack Fox comes.
That's right.
He was on my team one year, and I hit 9 pins, and he hit 0. And he then lost in the first round the year after again. So I'm sorry, Jack Fox. I love you, and you are the man. I cannot take you to have the second best arm on the team with those performances playing foaling. I'm sorry. Like, you should not be getting shown up by a hockey player who
he's got a cannon though.
I mean, I try, but I would say Demo, because Demo has thrown 2 absolute darts in his performances as fill-in trick play quarterback.
He has. St. Brown had a nice looking spiral to hit Jared Goff for a touchdown.
Don't worry, people. I see it in the chat. I do have a bet for you. I'll give it to you later.
Okay.
I got a feel.
A Lions bet or an NFL bet?
A Lions bet.
Okay.
I have a really good feeling about a touchdown score today.
Okay.
And it's not the big 3.
Oh, okay. Now I'm interested. Let's talk about this Browns game for 10 minutes. We'll get that bet. We'll go around the NFL for the last 15, and we'll call it a morning.
Hell yeah.
Stick followed up. But Broder, stats and wins aren't QBs. It's all about vibes and feels. Easy. He quoted easy. They might be going after it in the chat. We don't have enough time on this show for me to argue more for Jared Goff. But the Lions 2-1 welcome the Browns at 1-2 to Ford Field. Week 4, 1 o'clock today on Fox. Lions are wearing their blueberries. They went the marshmallows last week, all whites. Now they're all blues.
Yeah, they can't waste the blacks on the Browns.
No, and a 1 o'clock game. No. You got to save those for one of the games coming up.
Do you think we see them in the next 3 weeks?
What time? They're scheduled. We got the.
They're not wearing them at the Bengals. Do you think they wear them at the Chiefs?
No.
No, the whites.
They are. Can they wear them at the Chiefs? What time?
Why not?
Are these?
Why not? If the Chiefs wear red or white, why would they not be able to?
Yeah, I guess you could. I just want to see what time the game is. Lions schedule, because it's not going to be a 1 o'clock game. It would be the Chiefs.
It's Sunday
Night Football.
Yeah, it's Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, that'll be it. Maybe the Buccaneers the following week at 7 p.m. October 20th. Is that a Monday?
Yeah.
8 days. Yeah. Oh, they go Monday Night Football against the Bucs.
Yeah, that's where it's either going to be the Bucs or the Chiefs. That's why I asked you the next. I had a reason. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You got your shit down, dude.
I try to sit over here and give you some knowledgeable insight.
I love you, Justin. How you feeling about this game? Browns first in the NFL in team defense, 4th in passing defense, 1st in rush defense, but 18th in scoring defense. They're still giving up 23 points a game. 25th in red zone defense. They give up 60. 2/3 of the time they're giving up a touchdown, and they're 26th in third down defense. So they have some flaws. I know Tim Twentyman of the Detroit Lions wrote about how important first down is, getting 4, 5, 6 yards on that Browns defense so they can't just pin their ears back and go get the quarterback on third down. But it is something you got to run at that defensive line, right, Justin?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the identity of this Lions offense. No one is going to deter the Lions from running the football. And regardless if you're the best run defense in the NFL or you're the 32 ranked rush defense, it shouldn't matter the Lions. The Lions should want to establish their identity. They want to run the football. They want to set up their play action game. And even if their running game is faltering a little bit and it's not up to the standard that we're used to, I still believe that it does impact the game because it allows you to get into your play action sets, and that opens up JMO. That opens up Amon-Ra St. Brown. That opens up Laporta. And then if your running game is faltering and you start hitting them with the play action and the quick pass game, then that opens up the run game. Everything can open up everything in this Lions offense because of how balanced this Lions offense is.
Yeah. So you have to establish the run game in some way.
In some day.
It doesn't mean getting first downs every
You just can't be
run.
one-dimensional. You just can't be one-dimensional. You have to be able to run your balanced attack like the Lions are known for.
I feel like I meant to bring this up earlier in the show or at a different point, but the attention to detail that John Morton expects of this team, that this team executes that, like that 4th and 1 that went for a touchdown earlier in the game where Goff turned to his left, handed off to St. Brown, who then pitched it to Gibbs for the tutty.
That was nuts.
If you slow that down and understand and look at how Jared Goff placed the ball in St. Brown's hands, how he turned the ball vertically so that St. Brown could grab it and easily pitch it to Jahmyr Gibbs. It's the little things like that that make a difference. But I'm with you, man. This Lions team, they got to continue doing what they do on offense, establishing that run so that Jared Goff can pull the ball out of the pocket of Gibbs and Montgomery and find St. Brown over the middle, find Khalif for an 11-yard gain, find JMO for one of his crossing routes that could go for 80 on any given day. I think JMO's leading the NFL by a wide margin in yards per target or yards per completion, but it's going to be huge. Any key players on offense, Justin, that you're looking for the Lions or that has to play a good game? Offensive line, weapons,
the offensive
Goff.
line. I want to see the same thing I saw last week.
It's a big one for Decker.
Yeah, that's Decker did not look good against the Packers.
No.
And a lot of people won't admit that because everyone loves Taylor Decker. I love Taylor Decker. But he did get worked in that Packers game. And he showed his age a little.
Yeah.
Showed like he was a step slower than he usually is. So, against Myles Garrett, we're going to see whether or not that's a factor. And I'm very intrigued to see how he responds against such an elite pass rusher in Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I think that this would go a long way to reassuring me that he still can hold up against the best of the best. I will say there's a slight piece of me that is concerned about Myles Garrett on Taylor Decker today. But you know how you stop that is by being able to establish the run and making them respect that. Because if you let Myles Garrett pin his ears back and just come rushing the quarterback like he knows there's no run game, that's when you're cooked. And that's what happened to the Packers last week.
Yeah.
The Packers became one-dimensional. Jordan Love had to go win that game for them. He did.
He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
He blew the game.
Like, that's the point. That's what we've been saying about the Packers. Jordan Love doesn't have that in him.
Slight brain fart. But yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying. Love doesn't have it in him, but that was the formula for the Browns to go beat that team. It'll be the same for the Lions.
And the Packers' offensive line, to give them credit, they are known for their ability to pass block. They had third best pass blocking offensive line in football last year. The Lions have been known in the past couple years for their run blocking and how elite their run blocking is. So it's an inverse.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see if Cleveland comes out with the same strategy. Are they going to try to plug up the run? Are they going to try to make us one-dimensional? It's going to be interesting to see. However, you could argue that the pass pro through 3 games this year has looked better than the run game outside of the Ravens game. The Ravens game, the run game looked back, especially from the push from the offensive line. First 2 games, the pass pro was better.
Yeah, definitely. And it's made all that much better with the way that their receiver – we talked about Laporta, but also the way the receivers block, how Amon-Ra St. Brown – even Khalif Raymond isn't afraid to come in and go get a linebacker. Go get Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Like, go get Carson Schwartz and St. Brown. Welcome him to the NFL. They got to be the ones to establish
Absolutely.
They're the bullies, and these guys are coming into Ford Field. It's got to be they got to get some early momentum, and I think the Browns will sort of fade into the dark. If the Lions can get out to early one, it will be big. What about on defense? Anyone you're looking at in particular? Ahmed getting more snaps. He called out Kirby Joseph a little bit. I'd argue Brian Branch didn't have his best game against the Ravens.
No, he didn't, but he still did what he had to do. I don't think so. I don't think this Browns offense is good enough to warrant there being an impact player. If the defense does their job, however that looks, it will be a good day for them. Because this offense is not good enough to really expose anything on this Lions defense where I would be concerned.
Gotcha.
I think that great matchup for them, great get right for them to continue what they did last week. I'm excited. I think the defense is going to show up. I think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. I think it's going to be 20-13, something like that.
Okay.
It's going to be low-scoring affair. Lions are going to score, 2 touchdowns, a couple field goals, have a day. Browns will sneak one in there off of some random BS play probably, or Judkins will break one loose.
Right. They got to stop Judkins. They got to make sure he doesn't get loose.
He's their offense. He's their spark plug. He's where their offense lives and dies, and that's what happened against the Packers. If he didn't break that 36-yard run in the fourth quarter, they wouldn't have won that game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's big. Jerome Ford clearly isn't it in Cleveland. They attempt the fewest rushing. They've attempted the third fewest rush attempts in the NFL with 65. Does that change more with Quinshon Judkins? They're going to try, but this Lions run defense is also elite. So it's a big game for DJ Reader, a big game for Tyleik Williams. But I'm gonna keep a close eye on today, Derek Barnes. For all the reasons we talked about earlier with Kelvin Shepard. We saw AQM be the guy who got the sacks against Lamar last week, along with the linebacker crew. But I think if Joe Flacco's standing upright, he's going to try to get rid of the ball quick. I want to see Derek Barnes make a difference in that pass rush. I want to see him use his athleticism enough where even if he's going to get that quarterback, he's still able to be a run-stopping linebacker if he's in there before third down, which I expect him to be.
Yeah.
They're going to use him all over the field. How about this? Steve DeYoung, Broder, who has more sacks today, Hutchinson or AQM? It's a Hutch day.
Hutch.
It's a Hutch day.
He looks ready to go. I think the fumble was like that.
Oh, yeah.
We're back moment for him. He had a lot of good pressures. He had a sack too in the game. He looked like he was all over the field like he usually is.
That sack to me was told me more about Hutch than I think the forced fumble, which is just a great play.
Yeah.
It's what we love about Hutch. He's never stopping. Yeah. His motor's always going. He's not going to give up on a play. But it was it like the next drive or the play after where he gave their right guard or right tackle just a disgusting move. He had another spin move, and he went and just fell on Lamar Jackson. It was what showed me, all right, Hutch in the fourth quarter still has that in him. He's back. What up, Kool-Aid?
I was going to say, but if Hutch isn't, getting all the sacks today, it's nice to know, especially after that Ravens game, that somebody opposite of Hutch can get those sacks. And that's what we've been looking for. And that's why you want to continue to see them string this together. If AQM is their guy, because they've put a lot of faith in him. They've talked about him since preseason. They put out the infamous, which probably needs to go on some merch, "We're good." And so, to me, if Hutch at least is active, if Hutch is putting pressure and the other side's cleaning it up, that's a byproduct of the pressure and the type of player that Aiden Hutchinson is.
Yeah.
And so, whether he's the one getting the sack in his stat column or whether it's AQM, I'm hoping to see between the two of those guys 3, 4, maybe 5. Can I be overzealous? 5 sacks on the day. Who knows?
Who farted doesn't necessarily agree with you.
I know.
Who farted says
Still,
I don't see the Lions.
Still a great name, though. Still a great
It's
name.
one of my favorites with Harvey Wallbanger and Rusty Shackelford, the doctor clapping cheeks.
Oh, snap. I forgot about
my
that.
guy Who farted, who shows up in the chat each time. And
Clapping cheeks.
Sniff, sniff. Says, I don't see the Lions getting more than 1 or 2 sacks today. The Browns would be insane.
As a team?
Oh, wow.
As a team. Well, he says the Browns would be insane to leave Flacco back there with any time. He's a statue. He'll pass quick.
I think that they're going to get at least one sack today of him just trying to scramble back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Let alone you can probably count on at least 1-1, maybe 1.5 from AQM and Aiden Hutchinson. So that's just kind of where my mind is seeing things. But I won't take that away from Hoof because strategy-wise, he's right.
Right.
If you leave him back there for any amount of time, it's going to be trouble.
I'm with you. Way to bring that together. Theo in the chat says Cornelius Lucas sucked for the Lions, and he's playing tackle for the Browns today. Broder, Lions will feast, he said at 1 p.m. Lance Granada, I just want to see my team win. Give me a dub. Make it ugly. I hate blowouts. I don't need no cute stat line. I don't need yard, and Russ fantasy football is questionable. Just give me a freaking dub. Freddie Wise, when are you going to realize sacks are only one stat? Dude's got a point. You touched on it. Those pressures, the Hutch pressures, when everyone wanted more out of Hutch, he still is elite at pressuring the quarterback. I believe tops in the NFL. Mr. Satawa.
Yes, sir.
You teased a Lions bet earlier. Can you share with me?
Oh, absolutely.
What up, though?
Money
So,
grab.
with how good this Cleveland Browns D line has been, especially with how much usage David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown have gotten in the red zone this far this year, I think there is someone who's being overlooked, who's constantly overlooked in this offense, and who also made a lot of big plays on third down
Talk to
last
us,
week.
Tell him.
He also, when the going gets tough in the red zone, is always who is looked for, and his name is Sam Laporta. I think that this is a Sam Laporta touchdown game. I think that he gets in the end zone. I think that the Lions are going to be put in a 3rd and goal. They're going to call a nice little play action. It's going to go right to Sam Laporta. He's going to be wide open. There's not going to be a defender within 4 feet of him.
Wait, what type of play did you say it was?
Play action.
Okay.
Play action.
Thrown by Goff.
Thrown by
I guess it
Goff.
was play action thrown by Goff. It's not going to be any trick play. It's just Goff's going to find Laporta in the end zone wide open.
Yes.
I book it.
It's plus 220. It's great odds.
Is it plus 220?
Yes.
Caesar Sportsbook?
Yes. I think that they're trying to bait you into taking Gibbs and Monty right now because of the fact that they just had such a great game. And I just think that, and if not, it's going to be JMO. I think a lot of unconventional ways the Lions are going to get in the end zone today because of how good this front is for the Cleveland Browns.
Gosh, if you guys still have any question marks at JMO, just go look at any clip of him talking the last week, really this season. Like, he was asked, like, oh, you only got two catches, 2 targets. I want to say the first drive of the game. There were 2 big catches, but he didn't care. He was like, I'm not going to help in my team if I'm a diva. I'm going to go block for the rock. What is it?
Fired up.
Want the rock? Get the
Yes, indeed.
block equals rock.
Yeah, if you want the rock, hit the block.
Yeah, that.
There you go.
They were fully bought in. John Morton said it's the best blocking room of wide receivers he's seen in all 28 years he's been around football. Corey Berry followed up what Paul Thomas said. It's coming off big Monday Night Football road win. It won't come easy, but I'll take a dub however it comes. I love it. Joseph Austin, under Ben Johnson offense, Laporta was schemed wide open many times for touchdowns. That's true. We got to see John Morton find a way to get him in the ball. We saw Brock Wright against the Bears.
Yes.
He got 2 maybe, or
1.
He got 1. One of the wide open pass in the flats. I love to see that. Do you have anything else you want to talk about Lions related, or do you want to spend 10 minutes going around the NFL?
Lions related?
Like anything you want to get off your chest?
No.
10 minutes, and that Vikings-Steelers game starts. I actually got a question for you from someone asking about fantasy.
Okay.
Frick, I think I lost it. Nonetheless, let's go around the NFL, and I'll look while you're talking.
All right.
Micah Parsons returns to Dallas. First time since being traded to the Packers.
Oh, yeah.
Packers versus Cowboys. Packers rout them, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Dallas is going to be rowdy. I think the Packers are going to bounce back, though. I think the Packers will win the game. I just think it's the NFL. Like, this isn't college where teams get blown out on a weekly basis. I think that this is going to be a tight game. Like, Dallas is still a solid team.
Yeah.
They got
no CD.
No CD is
No
tough.
CD Lamb, so they got Pickens, who I think Pickens is beat up a little bit, too. And that defense really sucks.
Yeah, that defense is
We'll
trash.
see. Parsons is going to be absolutely motivated. I found the fantasy question, by the way, from Whiskey Neat. Says, yo, fantasy nerds, who would you start at wide receiver today? Drake London of the Falcons, Quentin Johnston of the Chargers, or Chris Olave of the Saints? I know Olave's playing the Bills.
I'm a Drake London believer.
I think he's the most overrated player in the NFL.
He's on my fantasy team, so I would say Drake London because I have to start him. I don't really have a choice.
But are you recommending that?
I mean, over those two options, yeah.
Even Olave against the Bills,
Yeah.
who are favored by like 15.5 points, a.k.a. Rattler is going to be throwing maybe 80 times
The
this
Falcons
game.
are going to sling it today. I'm starting Penix in fantasy. I got a feeling today about the Falcons' offense bouncing back after an abysmal performance last week.
Would you start Javonte Williams, running back for the Cowboys, over Chris Olave?
No.
Okay.
I told you that before the show.
Are you a Jackson Dart believer? Yeah, you told me before
No,
the show.
I'm not
but
a
we're live
Jackson.
now.
I'm not a Jackson Dart believer. No, absolutely not.
Would you have gone with Jameis?
No. I mean, they got to do what they got to do. They got to figure out if they have a future with him. And he's Dable's last shot. I think that I don't know. I never believe in quarterbacks that are one-read quarterbacks coming out of college. That's my rule. That's my rule. If you're a one-read quarterback in college, I don't have faith in you as an NFL quarterback. Hendon Hooker proved me right in that regard. Jackson Dart comes from a very similar system at Ole Miss. He's got all the tools. I mean, you could say the same thing about Josh Allen. Some players are just too gifted to be reformed into that box. I don't think Jackson Dart is. I will be proved wrong if I'm proved wrong.
Fair. Do you think Joe Burrow will be the quarterback of a New York football team
No.
in 2026?
No, absolutely not.
That was quick.
No chance.
You don't think Burrow's going to the Jets?
No. That's copium if I've ever heard it.
Pardon?
That's copium if I've ever heard it. He's
Why?
not going to leave Cincinnati.
Why? Why should he stay in Cincinnati?
They'd never trade him. And
Why?
he wouldn't leave. He's an Ohio kid. He'd never leave.
He never plays because the Bengals blow and they won't draft an offensive lineman.
Well, he should sit out the entire year and have them pick in the top 10 and have them pick an offensive lineman. Their
Which
problem
they won't.
solved. You don't know that.
Book it. Jets starting quarterback 2026, Joe Burrow.
That's a crazy call.
Ravens, Chiefs, both teams trying to avoid a 1-3 start. We saw the Ravens last week. Are they going to go into Kansas City? And
Is Van Noy playing?
I don't believe so.
Give me the Chiefs.
Okay. Without that pass rush?
They got Worthy back. And they've been waiting for Worthy and Rashee Rice to come back to really get this thing moving. I think Worthy helps them a ton. And I think that this Ravens team's got O-line issues and D-line issues without Van Noy.
Eagles at the Bucks. Are the Bucks a true threat in the NFC? Where do you stand on Tampa?
No.
Not a true threat. Why?
Their defense isn't good enough.
Is it you say awful?
I wouldn't say awful.
What'd you say? I just didn't hear you.
It's not good enough. Their defense isn't good enough. Defense isn't good enough, and their offensive weapons I don't think are good enough either.
They got a lot of them. They got 11
The corpse
start-
of Mike Evans.
He's injured. He's out for a couple of weeks. But
The
you're right,
corpse
he's
of Chris
old.
Godwin.
He's coming back this week, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Abuka and Bucky Irving are two studs.
I like the Bucky Irving and Rashad White duo.
But all right, let me hit you with the inverse, okay? When you look at the Eagles and the Lions, okay, versus the Bucks, give me a positional advantage that either of those teams that the Bucks have over either of those teams offensively.
left tackle.
Okay, that's one.
That's it.
Okay, there you go. Next question.
Maybe center. Actually, Graham Barton's a really good center.
All right.
Shout out to my guy Graham Glasgow, though. But you're right.
But that's the thing, like the amount of like true talent that the Eagles and the Lions have is so much higher than the Bucks. Where the Bucks are talented and they can beat the Lions in a one-off. They've proven that, and they have some. They're dangerous. Like Baker Mayfield is one of the grittiest quarterbacks in the entire NFL, and is finally getting the respect that he deserves. Straight up point blank period. However, they're not in the class of the Lions.
Okay.
Their defense doesn't have as much talent as the Lions. Their offense doesn't have enough talent as the Lions. And especially if we get them at home in a playoff game, they're no threat.
Valid.
And same with the Eagles. If you go into Detroit or Philadelphia, unless you're the Los Angeles Rams, you are at a talent deficit.
See, I have the Bucs right there with the Rams, just under the Eagles and the Lions. But I think they're a threat.
I have the Rams. I'd say the Rams are a bigger threat than the Bucs, but I wouldn't.
I think both are threats. I like the Bucs more than the Rams.
I don't think the Bucs are a threat.
I think they're legit.
When push comes to shove, I don't think they're a threat.
You return 11 starters from last
They're
year's
cute.
team.
They're cute.
Add Egbuka. They're 3-0 without Wirfs. And yeah, talent-wise, the Eagles and the Lions. Talent-wise, the Eagles and the Lions are better.
Who has Tampa played?
Who have they played?
No one. That's the answer. They played the NFC South, and they have played. I believe they played a bummy AFC team.
I still think they're legit.
I think they're a legit playoff team, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
You're right. Their schedule's been shitty. The Falcons, the Texans, and the Jets. So we'll see today. I just happen to think they're legit. I think Baker, the talent deficit.
How legit, though? Like, I'm saying they're a legit playoff team, but I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl contender.
I can get with that. I think I'm with Huffarded. Bucs ceiling is getting beat in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, 100%. Where every single one of those other teams I named, the Eagles, the Lions, and the Rams, their ceiling, or their floor at least, is winning the NFC. Because you could see the Rams winning an NFC.
Yeah.
With all fairness.
I'm still picking the Lions or the Eagles, but
100%. But
that Rams defense
is very good. They have some dudes. They have some real dudes on that defense.
Puka's
and then
right up there.
Their offense, I mean, they got Puka, they got Devontae Adams, I mean, they got Kyren Williams. I mean, Matthew Stafford's still slinging the pill. I mean, they're going to be I would rather play the Bucs 10 out of 10 times rather than playing the Rams.
Okay. I like that opinion. The Rams are hosting the Colts. Another kind of surprise team. Are the Colts for real? Daniel Jones.
I mean, when you have a elite run game and can just use play action off of it, yes, you are real. And I got killed in the preseason for saying I believed in Daniel Jones. I mean, but he's coming out here and showing it. When you're in a system like that, you just have to be a distributor. You don't have to go out there and be Superman. You literally just have to give the ball to JT and then hit your open receivers on play action. That's it. That's all you have to do. Defense is great, too. JT Tuimoloau was a great pick by them.
Yeah. Latu's playing better than last year. Like, they got some dudes on that team, and you brought it up, a run game, offensive line. It all starts there for them. And then they have freaking one of the better up-and-coming tight ends in the league in Tyler Warren. And, very similar to the dog park that is the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room. The Colts have a bunch of number twos everywhere, too. I like them, though. I like their number two wide receivers. It comes down to the quarterback not making mistakes. Jordan Love will make a mistake. Daniel Jones is so much less talented than Jordan Love, but he makes a lot less mistakes.
Yes.
Weird how that works out.
It does.
Jared Goff, you see where I'm going? Like, you need a quarterback who doesn't make mistakes.
Yep. I'm with you.
Gets the ball to the playmakers.
And that's why Jared Goff is elite, because he is one of the best distributors in the NFL.
Yes.
To his receivers and his running back.
All right, last one before we give our game predictions around the horn. How bad is this Monday Night Football doubleheader? Jets
Awful.
at the Dolphins and Bengals at the Broncos.
Let's go, AG.
Are you interested in either of them?
No.
What'd you say?
Let's go, AG.
Oh, you're watching AG.
Hey, yeah, I'm all in on the AG Jets right now. It would be dope to see them get their first win, but this is potentially going to be a snooze fest.
The Dolphins are so bad.
These games suck.
Justin is unimpressed.
I didn't expect to talk about them for very much. So
No,
right,
I might not even watch on Monday. I'm not. Oh, actually, I won't watch. I have a hockey game.
Yeah,
So
take Monday night off.
thank you. I appreciate my hockey game being that night and saving me from some awful football.
Take Monday night off. Chat, start getting your game predictions in the chat now. Who wins? What's the score? Anything else you want to add? We'll read it off. Let's go around the horn real quick. Willie, score prediction. Lions versus Browns. Talk to me. Oh, actually, this is Mike. Are we good on his mic, or am I going to deliver your message?
Oh,
Let's check it out.
We'll see.
okay. Prediction.
And Lions. Okay. Belt to ass. 10-3. 10-3. Belt to ass.
You say 10-3?
Yeah, Lions victory. 10-3. Because they're both the good defense.
That's a low-scoring game.
But it's gonna be ass.
You think they put the
I love
vice
it, though.
or something?
Yeah, put the vice grips and put the belt to the ass moment.
He's got the belt in the.
Let's see that belt. Let's see it.
I mean, belt to ass moment, man. That's it.
No. Let them see the buckle.
Man,
Let them see the buckle.
I don't have the belt. It's an old ass belt. With that ass whooping when your dad disciplines you when you mess up at school, those are the type of ass whoopings the Lions gonna give to the Browns. And then they gonna shit on the Browns since it's gonna be Browning Day. It's gonna be an ass whooping Lions feast. Belt to ass movement. Let's go.
The type of whooping that the trolls on Twitter would come after you for and try to get you canceled for not being a trad dad anymore. Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
What's your score prediction? We got 34-0 from Hoofhearted in the chat, 28-9 Nitty Gritty, 24-10 Just a Fan. What are you thinking?
I picked this on Braylon's show as well, and I'm gonna stick with it. I actually gonna give him 13 points for the Browns, and I think that's being pretty generous. But for the Lions, 31 points. I believe in this offense. You saw what the Ravens did to the Browns too. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them. I think that they're gonna have some nice moments in the first half. But in the second half, it's going to be one of those games in which, like we've heard in the past, Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, and Cole, well, you know what? We figured out what they were trying to do to us in the first half. In the second half, it's just beat the brakes off of them.
Beat them.
31-13. Let's go. A little 3-on-3 love in there, too.
13. Justin, Greg 2025, 30-10 Lions win. Drew Sal, Lions 34, Browns 14. Miku Kappa, 31-9 Lions. Lions 35-3. Flip the bird. I'll keep going through here in a second, but Justin, talk to me.
I got 20-13. I think that the Lions get a couple touchdowns across the board, take a little bit more field goals than they usually do, and they let up one touchdown to Cleveland, and then two very long field goals, make it 20-13.
All right.
I do think the Browns cover this spread. I think that's a little 9.5's a little aggressive in the NFL, especially when the Browns have shown life. They are not the Browns of old. Also, Sam Laporta scored a touchdown.
I think it's going to be like a 3-touchdown performance from Jared Goff.
All right.
Like 3 touchdowns, 235 yards. Run game still has a good one, but he finds Laporta or St. Brown.
Do you think the run game or the pass game is more effective today?
I think it's the pass game.
I agree.
But I don't think they just shut down the run game. I don't think the Browns shut down Gibbs and Montgomery. I think they get 100 yards as a tandem on the ground. But what gets them across the goal line literally is some Jared Goff touchdown passes. Run the ball, says 10-3 is not BTA, Willie B. Donovan Wayne, Lions 35, Browns 24.
well.
Corey Berry, Lions 23, Browns 13. My guy Detroit Gunny, Lions 26, Browns 13. I'm also going with the Lions W to go to 3-1 before they play. Who is it? Bengals week 5. They go 3-1 with a 27-17 victory. 2 field goals from Bates, 3 touchdown passes from Goff.
All right.
Lions leave Ford Field, the 1 o'clock game. Feeling good going into
Seems like it.
going to Cincinnati.
That would be
welcoming
a cruise, and I would enjoy being at that game heavily. That would be very, very enjoyable. Everyone's asking about what time the pregame show starts. It starts at 10 o'clock down there at Second Best Bar with Neil and Sean, I believe KG. So that should be a great show for you guys at 10 o'clock. Also, please, 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 please tap into Woodward Wolverines on Tuesday evenings at 7:30, where we talk some college ball. I know that it's Lions season all season, but make sure you show some love to your college team.
Yes, Donovan Wayne, Lions. Oh, we'll have some big explosive plays today. Theo, Lions 28, Browns 13. Mohammed 2 sacks, Hutch 2 sacks. Detroit Gunny just said Aaron Rodgers was sacked on the first play of the game in Dublin, Ireland.
I was going to say, can you guys give me your MVPs, offense, defense, and your coach, your coordinator of the game?
Going into this game,
No, for the Lions versus Browns. Who you got? Who's your offensive MVP, your defensive, and then your coordinator of the game?
All right. Offensive MVP. Who you got? Laporta?
No, I don't think he's going to make that big of an impact. I think he's going to score a touchdown. I don't think he's going to be like the leading receiver or anything. I think it's going to be. I mean, earlier I said it was the offensive line, so I'm going to stick with that.
Go with the unit.
Stick with the offensive line. Defensively, Kirby Joseph. I think
Joe Flacco pick.
Yep, Joe Flacco pick, and then coach. I mean, just Calvin Shepard continuing what he's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't let a weak opponent get any life on you.
Offense, I'm going to stay consistent. Jared Goff, he's going to have his 3 touchdown performances. He's going to go 235, 23 for 28 again. Derek Barnes on the defensive side of the ball. I think he gets a sack, but I also think he makes a difference in the game on the defensive end. And it's a big one for Johnny Morton, going against the best defense in the league. I want to see how he responds. What adjustment does he make? They haven't seen a run game like ours. Let's show them that's the real deal. Justin, it was fun.
Great.
Thank you
great
for
time.
filling in for the legendary TeSlaa.
No, it was my pleasure. I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
First to the whistle here, Sunday mornings.
Yes, sir.
With Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. Willie B,
Yes, indeed.
a.k.a.
What up, though,
Crash
Willie?
Out
Any more
aka
belt
10 to 3
BTA
BTA.
energy?
Oh, yeah, beat that ass injury. We most definitely going to whoop some ass today. Lions go here to feast on the Browns. After they feast on them, they got to shit on them.
Oh, no.
Whoa. Okay.
Heyo. Detroit Gunny, offensive MVP Jared Goff, defensive MVP Hutch, coordinator of the game, special teams Dave Phipp. Maybe Jackson Meeks gets a run on special teams today with Vaki out. Nonetheless, we're excited for a 1 o'clock game. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Please,
Woodward pregame, 10 to 12.
on your way out, you're watching this live, hit the like
Yes,
button.
please.
If
Smash
you're
it.
watching
Smash
the
that
replay,
thing.
also hit the like button. Leave a comment. We'll talk about it next week. And we will see you Sunday at 8 a.m. in 1 week.
Let's
Have a wonderful
rock.
Sunday.
Go Lions.
Toodle.